Hello everyone, my name is Richard George, and before we get started, I just want you to hit that subscribe button. I want you to like this video, and I want you to share this video. By you liking, subscribing, and sharing, that'll help get this video out to a bigger audience. I want to thank everyone who watched my grand opening video. If you didn't watch it, you can check my link in the description and you can watch that video. Alrighty, with that being said, with this video, we are going to talk about how to bounce back after getting terminated from a job. How to bounce back, all right? So yeah, this is a pretty good topic, and we're gonna jump right into it, okay? So, first and foremost, if you get terminated from a job, do not panic, okay? I understand your emotions are going to be running. You're going to have a million things going through your mind. You're going to be wondering how you're going to do this, how you're going to pay for that, health insurance, dental insurance if you had it, 401k, etc. Don't panic. Remain calm. I know it's easier said than done, but listen to me. Don't panic, because panicking is only going to make it worse. So that's the first step, okay? Now, step number 2. This is for my millennials. It will happen. Sounds kind of harsh, but that's how I got to give it to you. I can't sugarcoat anything, okay? Even me, I'm not proud to say this, but I've been terminated from a few jobs, and that's why I'm able to advise on what to do if it happens to you. So, I just need to put that out there. It will happen. All right. So, step number 3. This is an important one. If a company terminates you, then that means they really weren't interested in you. That's the best way I can say it. So, after that, step number 4, don't fight it. Okay, I know a lot of y'all listening to me saying, what? Don't fight it? If I didn't do anything wrong, I'm gonna fight it. Like I said in the last step, right? They were gonna try to get rid of you anyway. If they feel like you're not valuable to the company, then they was eventually gonna get rid of you. They were just trying to find something. I see that all the time. Employees get fired because they're looking for something to get rid of you, okay? So, don't fight it. Just let it go. I know a lot of people want to get a lawyer. You got to pay for that. They want to go back to the job. They want to send a letter to dispute it. Don't fight it. Listen to me on this one. I'm telling you this because I've experienced it, okay? Just let it go. There's too many jobs out here for you to be fighting one job. Just let it go. They terminated you, move on. On to the next. Leave that in the past, focus on what's ahead of you, okay? So don't fight it, all right? Also, the state of North Carolina, I'm not sure about your state, but I can talk for the state of North Carolina. This is an at-will state. Also, Maryland. I lived in Maryland for a few years. That's also an at-will state. And at-will means that a company can terminate you for any reason. Okay? I know that sounds harsh. I like that word. I know that sounds harsh, but a company could terminate you for any reason. Matter of fact, I'm sorry, a company don't need a reason to terminate you. Yeah, you could just come in one day and your boss could say, you're terminated. You don't need to give a reason. This is an at-will state. And that's why it's very, very important to read your onboarding paperwork. Very important, because it says that in the paperwork that this is an at-will state and you sign your name on the dotted line. Once you sign your name, that's telling the company that you read it and you understand it. Okay? So read your onboarding paperwork. I can't stress that enough. And if I had my mom with me right now, she would tell you to do the same thing, because Every time I call my mom and I tell her I have an issue with something at my job, her first question to me is, did you read your handbook? And I don't like when she asks me that question because I don't want to read my handbook. I know right and I know wrong. but my mother's right. Read your handbook, read your paperwork, and educate yourself on the policy. Okay? All right, so we're going down to the next step. Step number 5, do not rely on unemployment. I know when people lose their job, the first thing that they do is rush to unemployment. I'm not going to say it's a problem with rushing to unemployment because we still got to pay our bills, right? You know, even if we get fired today or tomorrow, we still need to pay our bills. So I get it why you rush to unemployment, but personally, I wouldn't go that route. And the reason why I say that is because unemployment takes a while to clear. And most companies fight unemployment because that comes out of their budget. So a company don't want to just pay you to sit at home. Because when you get unemployment, you're actually getting paid from the company that terminated you, right? I mean, it's not going to be the same amount that you would get paid if you was working 40 hours a week, but it's a percentage coming from the company that just fired you. So they don't want to pay that, so they're going to fight it. So do you really want to spend a lot of time getting lawyers and you got to go back and forth with the company who's going to fight it and they already have lawyers in place? Just let it go. Another thing, try to keep a second job or a side hustle, right? Because if a company terminates you, you want to have some type of income still coming in. For example, with me, I try to always keep 2 jobs. Even if my second job, I just work on the weekends, or my second job, I just work every other weekend, I try to keep 2 because if I get terminated from my full-time job or my main job, then I have something to fall back on. So I don't have to worry about running to unemployment or borrowing money from family. I don't have to do those things. I have my second job. You know, I can contact my supervisor and just say, hey, I'm available to work extra hours. You don't have to go into explanation why. You don't have to go into any reasons. Just tell your supervisor, I can pick up some extra shifts, right? And I'm speaking from experience. I've done that before. So try to keep a second job, try to keep a side hustle. Hey, even Uber. I'll tell anybody, if you need a side hustle, Uber's perfect, you know. All right, I've never personally done Uber before, but I have friends who do it, and they say they make good money. All right, let's go to the next step. Step number 6, do not, and I repeat, do not use your credit card when you get terminated, okay? Now, I know a credit card just seems so easy to use. You just go into the store and swipe it and keep it moving. That's not a good idea. Credit cards are only good to use if you have the money to pay it back when you get the bill, okay? That is the only time it's good to use a credit card. Losing your job and not having a steady income coming in and using your credit card, not good. You don't want to put yourself in debt, especially when you're in a crisis, right? So put the credit card away. Use your debit card. Use your emergency fund. That's what it's for. And we're going to talk more about your emergency fund. But do not, and I repeat, do not use your credit card if you're terminated from your job. You don't want to put yourself further in debt and now you're have another problem, okay? All right, and the next step, use your emergency fund, okay? So right now, if you do not have emergency fund, start working on it now. Your emergency fund is 3 to 6 months of your expenses, okay? And your expenses can mean your rent or your mortgage if you own a home, your utilities, your food, your gas, all that, okay? Make a budget, all your expenses, count it up, ask yourself how much do you need each month to carry you with everything I just listed, right? And once you have that total number, That's your monthly budget. Okay? If all your bills come up to, let's just say $1,000, right? You need $6,000 in the bank, okay? Because that $6,000 would cover you for 6 months until you find your next job. Now, realistically, it should take you a lot sooner to find a job than 6 months, but it's just good to have that cushion, okay? All right, so start working on your emergency fund, and in my next videos, we'll talk about budgeting, okay? All right, next step number 8, update your resume, okay? And don't just update your resume when you resign from a job or when you get terminated from a job. Start now. Every 3 months, you should be updating your resume, because I'm pretty sure that 3 months from now, you accomplished something that you didn't have 3 months before, right? You may have received a certificate from your job, received the Employee of the Month, received some side training that you've done. You've accomplished something within 3 months, okay? And add that to your resume, right? So if something happens on your job, you could already have your resume good to go. You don't have to be worrying about, oh man, I gotta find this certificate, I gotta find this to add to my resume. No, your resume is already good to go. So that's step number 8, update your resume, okay? Step number 9, learn from your mistake. Yes, learn from it. Like I said earlier, don't fight it, learn from it. Okay. Whatever you did wrong, just fix it. That's it. I can't say it any better. Whatever you did wrong, just fix the problem, okay? Learn from your mistakes. All right, number 10. Now, eventually, you're going to be going on some interviews, right? Now, when you go on an interview, you will get this question. Why did you leave your previous job? Okay? When you get that question, don't panic, right? Now, that's why it's always good to keep a side hustle or a side job, because if you have a side job, honestly, you don't even have to mention the job that you got terminated from. You could just say, hey, I'm currently employed at this job and I'm just, trying to find some extra work outside of my schedule. You don't even have to mention the old job, right? So that's why you always want to keep a side hustle. Another reason, let's see. If you work this job less than 3 months, you don't even have to mention it. It's 3 months. Just talk about the job, the previous job. Talk about that job. You worked there less than 90 days. So don't even mention it. Now, if you worked there for 2 years and you were terminated after 2 years of employment, now this is a sticky situation because your employer is going to want to know what you've done the last 2 years, right? Okay. I'm not the one to tell anybody to lie. Now, sometimes, some scenarios, do you want to bend the truth? Okay, yes, bend the truth, all right? I know y'all cracking up right now. I know y'all like a lie, bend the truth, same thing. What I'm saying is, you don't always have to give all the details. Some things you could just leave to yourself, right? If you know you got terminated, I resigned. I resigned from the company. Simple, okay? So, like I said, I don't want to sit here and tell nobody to lie, but you don't have to give all the details. Just, like I said, bend the truth. Last step, the very, very last step, number 11, move on from your previous job. Move on. I've seen people go back to the job. I've seen people make phone calls. I've seen people call coworkers and ask who took my spot, who's doing this, who's doing that. Just move on. Don't go back. Don't call your old coworkers. If you have friends, that's cool, but don't worry about all that. Just move on. It's okay. Like I said earlier, you will get fired. It's going to happen, okay? So when it does happen, prepare yourself and move on. Don't panic. Just keep it moving. I tell people all the time, God knows your story. God knows where you're going to end up at. So if your previous job didn't work, it was God's plan. God knows there was something better else for you. Okay? So just move on. All right, y'all. That's my 11 step. If y'all have any steps, if y'all have anything y'all want to add, if there was anything I missed, or if there's any questions you have for me, just leave me a comment in the comment section and I'll be more than happy to answer your question. Okay? And like I said before, please hit that subscribe button. Right now, I think I'm up to 6 subscribers. Yeah, I got to 6. So just help me get my subscribers up, like this video, and please share. And once again, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope it was helpful. I hope you gained some knowledge, okay? And on this channel, we're going to keep it raw. We're going to keep it relevant. We're going to keep it real. And we're going to keep it relatable. All right? Thank you, everyone. Love you all. And just know it's been real and it's been fun, but it's never been real fun. Y'all have a good one.